Hi, welcome back to My Hobby Prison. It snowed again today. It's about between 27 and 30 degrees, fluctuating. I don't know if we'll do a lot of filming today because, well, the kids are still in school and it's just me. And I still don't have a tripod. Anyway, the goal is we want to put the coils in. We want to get the engine started. We want to do the oil pressure test. I also want to check to see if bubbles are coming out in the radiator where you fill it. That's an indicator of a broken head gasket. I also bought some more stuff today, so we'll go over that first and then we'll get started working on the Jeep. I went to Napa today and picked up the new coils. There's some other stuff I bought. They look pretty good. They look just like the old ones, so I'm guessing that's the right equipment. I also picked up this. It's an 1 1/16 deep socket because I need that to take the oil pressure sensor off and put the oil tester in it. And I wasn't sure if I had an 1 1/16, but I do. I have one on the impact socket. I think it'll work. If not, I got this one, and if it does work, I can take this one back. And then I also picked up a oil pressure sending unit or sensor. I don't know if I'll need it. We're going to test that today too. But if I do need it, I have it, and I don't have to go back to the store. And if I don't need it, I can bring it all back. The price on all that was $249.73. There's the itemized bill. Looks like $26.86 for each coil. The socket was $565, which I was surprised at, and the switch was $15.06. I also picked up some Freon from O'Reilly's. That was $10.99. I've heard a lot of good things about that, but I picked that up at O'Reilly's. I went to AutoZone first. They didn't have it, so I picked up this PB Blaster while I was there just because, in case I couldn't find this Freon, and then I found this Freon. I did, let's see, this is 7, 5, and 3. This one, I couldn't remember where this thing went. Trying to put it down here on the manifold on the head, but it fits better right here, so I'm going for that. They're pretty easy to go in. I'm going to install this one for you. Don't put it in that way, put it in this way. Make sure you take this screw off. Don't lose it. Don't drop it down in the spark plug. Anyway, so you just set them on there and push it. It goes in there good. I mean, you got to push it. It's not going to fall on there. You screw that on. You got to tighten it up. It's a number 10, and look at the back of my hand. I need an assistant. I don't know what the torque specs are, if there are any. I just go nice and easy, and I feel it get tight right there, and then I just a little bit more. And be careful of this. When you're snapping these back in, it feels like it's in. Sorry about that. But make sure that you hear this click. If you don't hear that click, it's not all the way in. So I'm going to finish the passenger side bank and put the top part of the motor back on. Oh, this. I took this off to put this, that coil on. There's all those wires kind of get in the way. There's vacuum hose, and here's another vacuum hose that goes here. Am I seeing that? This vacuum hose goes here. Put that on, and it comes from, glare on that sun, I don't know. whatever this thing is. All right, put those in and we'll touch base. We got that back one in. I don't know if you can all see it because of the, yeah, that one was okay. It was kind of tight for to get in, but I got some questions. So, number one, where does this go? And I don't mean where do the wires go. I mean, it's got two, I don't know if you can see them. Where the hell is it? I got the number 8 coil in. While I was doing that, ran across this. I don't know where it mounts to. It's got 2 of those mounting things there. I'm wondering if it goes on to this. And this bolts down to this coil retainer, and then those 2 go into here, those 2 mounts go to that. And then I found this, I'm hoping that's a ground wire because I'm going to put it right up to this stud. And I don't know if that's where it goes, but it can't go very far because that's it. So I'm thinking it goes there. I don't know. And then I got one more. Where the hell does that get attached to? I didn't undo that one. Anyway, I'm gonna continue on. Well, I got the coils back in. Not bad. It wasn't bad to do. I decided not to put this thing in. I'm gonna hit up a Facebook group and see if anybody over there in there knows where it is or and how to put it back together and what goes on it. But the battery's hooked up, that fuse is put back in for the fuel, all the coils are hooked up and tightened right. I don't see any loose wires. I only see 2 vacuum hoses that need to be hooked up, but I'm not going to start it right now. I'm just going to open it and see if I screwed up the wiring. Well, the power seat doesn't want to move. Let's try this. Power comes on. We've got power. All right. Check gauges. Okay. I don't know about the power seat. That part moves. There it goes. It's moving. Power seat's moving. Ian was in here messing around with it the other day, so electronics okay. All right, I'm gonna put the air cleaner stuff back on it, and then try the trick to see if there's getting. Hey, we're gonna try to start it. All right, I got some more news for you. I was screwing around back there trying to get that spark plug taken out and put back in cylinder number 7. That's the one that gets the firewall on the driver's side. I took off the vacuum hose for the brakes, and I was putting everything back together, and I noticed that, and where the hell does that go? I couldn't remember where it went. So in case you guys run into the same thing, let me show you. So I pulled this hose off, and if you can see me running around here, I left this one on. No, I didn't. I took this one off too, and this one off too, just so I could get access back there. But I forgot where this one went, but I was poking around. I took this air box off and was poking around, and then there's a little nipple back there that it goes on to. So if you run into a hose and you don't know where it goes and it comes off your brake, pretty sure it goes right back on there. And then this one goes onto your air box. We'll be back in a minute. Let me show you this too while we're in here. This rubber gasket, it stays on my throttle body every time I take that air box off. So the best way to do it is just come in. I'm not gonna do this. Put it on the airbox first. Make sure you can access this tightener and then put it back on the throttle body. That's the best way. I think the engine is put back together. I'd sure like to get this replaced, but it looks like you're gonna have to replace that whole you know, let me tighten that down just a little bit. Got it tightened down. It's a number 13. Anyway, what I was saying is I'd sure like to replace that, but it looks expensive. And I think it's all back together. There's another screw. You can't see it, but it goes down there. Oops. It goes underneath that airbox to help hold this side on, but I dropped it and I can't see it anywhere. I'm not too worried about it. My hunch is I'm probably gonna have to take this motor apart, but time will tell. So they say to undo this first. And then go start your vehicle. And then check it. So we're gonna try to start it. Starts right up. Doesn't sound great. Definitely not. This is supposed to show. Supposed to start showing air right off the bat, but it's supposed to bubble, but it's not. I'm not going to let it run very long. I'm going to see if there's any oil pressure on the gauges. Nope. There's no oil pressure. So next in line, we're going to do the oil pressure test. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the oil pressure sending unit out and then check that to see if that's still good or if it's not. And then if it's not, we'll change it and then we'll check the oil pressure in the truck again. We're moving right along. One step after the other. Should be nice to have my kids here to do this though for me. Anyway, we'll see you in a bit. I'm trying to get you in here to show you where that oil pressure sending unit is. Oh, it's right there. You see it with the wire? It's right above the oil filter. So you just disconnect it with that connector right there. You take your 1 1/16 inch wrench and you just back it out. You shouldn't have to take the oil filter off to do it. At least that's what he says. This is the guy over at D&E Garage is showing me this. Well, he's showing everybody this, but that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come in through the top. I'm at the top. It's on the driver's side. Oh, snowing again. Springtime in Wyoming. Second winter. Well, that sucked major. Right. Yeah, you could get into it from the top, but my fat hands it wouldn't let me fit. Basically, what I had to do was I had to remove the box so I could get in over this side with my right hand, pull this off of this stud right there. This is the connector. So the little tab that you have to push will be on the driver's side right there in order to get this off. Then I'm going to take my left hand and wedge it down in there to try to twist it off with the ratchet, and it was on there pretty good. I finally did get smart enough and loosen the serpentine belt system. That made everything about 100 times easier. So now we got to check this sensor, but I think I'm in trouble. Let me show you why. I don't know yet, but let me show you why. As far as I know, you're supposed to have two prongs. Looks like one's busted off. It's busted off inside there. I don't know how the hell I'm going to get it out. I'll have to pull that GD radiator out. And I don't know how I'm going to test it. But I got the new one here, so I'm going to look at it and see if it's the same. But I think there's supposed to be two prongs. Well, I'm not going to open it. And I don't know if you can see it. I just washed my hands so I wouldn't get it too dirty. I'm going to take it back if it's not broken. But it looks like they all come with one prong, which really surprises me. So we're going to test this one and see if it works. There we go. We're going to test this right now and see if it's bad. And you know what? I don't really know what I'm doing here. It's only got one prong, so we're going to, as far as I know, you're not supposed to have any kind until you have some pressure. I can't show you. I just can't show. I don't have enough hands of it. Anyway, I'll get back with you and let you know what I found out. Well, it was making noise when I touched those two. When I touched the leads to that, one to the prong inside and one to the outside. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open up the new one. And I'm going to see if it reads the same way. If it reads the same way, then I know this one's good. And if it's not installed, they said I could take it back. So we'll go from there. Okay, well, the new one did the same thing as the old one. So we know it's not the sending unit, so I guess we're going to hook up the oil pressure testing kit and do that. This is going to be fun trying to hook that find that oil pressure sending unit port in the block. Wish me luck. You got to embrace the suck on that. That was horrible. That was horrible. And it's snowing again. Okay, so we got the sending unit out. Then we have to put the attachments in so I can hook up the hose for the oil pressure test gauge. That was a freaking nightmare. You can't see what you're doing at all. And you have to reach around and maneuver stuff, and my hands are so fat I had trouble doing anything. I had to jack up the vehicle, put it on jack stands. I had to undo the oil filter. Anyway, then I had to try to get the adapter put in so you could hook the hose up for the gauge. It's finally hooked up. It's finally done. Now we're going to run the oil pressure test and see what it looks like. So I'm going to turn the Jeep on. I've got the oil pressure gauge turned so I can see it from inside. Let's see. All right, there's the gauge. We'll have to see. Hopefully there's oil pressure at the gauge. We're going to find out. Uh-oh. No, I don't have anything. Oh, no. I didn't unhook the battery. I've screwed something up. Well, that was an easy fix. I did too unhook the battery. All right, try this again. Fingers crossed. You're supposed to let this get up to warm-up speed, but there's nothing there. Now look. Now it says I've got oil pressure over here. I don't get it. There's none there, but it says I've got it over here. I don't know what's going on. Oh, well, it probably doesn't work because I've got the oil pressure sending unit out, so that's going to be wrong anyway. I'm going to let this run for a couple of minutes and see if it changes, but I doubt it will. Right there where the hose is. I'm just checking to see if there's any leak, but there's not. It looks like we just don't have any oil pressure I don't think I want to run this thing too long without oil pressure. I just wonder if the oil pump's done. And then I got this tick. I'm not really sure where it is, but we're in for a big job ahead of us. Well, I just unhooked. I didn't take the adapter out of the oil sending unit port. I took the hose off, and I turned the motor on, and it's pumping oil, but it's not pumping very much. You can see there's a little oil coming out there. I don't have the engine running, of course. Let me turn it on and I'll show you what it's doing. I think I'm gonna stop for today. Well, probably, I think I'm gonna drain the oil, but tomorrow what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop the oil pan. It's just getting too cold. I'm getting too tired. That was a lot of work pulling that, or getting that oil pressure meter and gauge installed, oil pressure testing gauge installed. Holy smokes, what a day. So I'll drain the oil. Tomorrow we'll drop the pan, check for rod movement. I'm hoping there's no rod movement, but after that, we're gonna have to take the valve covers off and check those. I think I was gonna pull that radiator anyway. It's gonna get the front of the engine, because I think we're gonna have to change that oil pump. I think it should be pumping more oil than that. Anyway, it's snowing again. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any ideas for me, please leave them below in the comments. Have a happy day.